guess what we're going to do? We are going to make a very low carb grilled cheese sandwich. Now, like I've said in other videos, oftentimes in the olden days, when people were diabetic, they would say, I got sugar diabetes, you know. And what do you do in sugar diabetes? You don't eat sugar. You got diabetes, man. Don't eat no sugar. Hey, sugar booger, don't eat sugar. Don't forget to subscribe. Boop, 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 boop. So what we can do nowadays is subscribe, boop, 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 and we can modify things better than we could before, because now there are companies that make low carb and keto products. There's also companies that don't make that make a regular product, and we can reduce the amount we take in. For example, I said in some earlier videos, I don't really care too much for the keto flavored or the keto cereals. I would rather, if it says on a regular cereal box, eat 1.5 cups, maybe I would eat a half cup. Would I be a little bit hungry? Sure. But usually we overeat anyhow. A lot of people, when they have a bowl of cereal, you'll see a bowl, and the bowl is like this, and it's like this. But really what it's supposed to be is when you put the cereal in there, you look down, and it's less than halfway full, the bowl. But we always just pour. And then we put milk, and then we sit down and we watch Saturday morning cartoons. But we're going to make a lower carb grilled cheese sandwich. The lady that wrote me about the about having a tuna sandwich, hers was about 70 grams of carbs, and we got it down to, I think ours 10, or was it 11, whatever it was, whatever the carb count was from the bread, and we were able to do that. This is Spinal Tap. Did you see that movie? Pretty funny. That movie was pretty funny because they made a fake band, and they made a fake documentary. Now we'll make fake documentaries about real bands, so we did that too. So this video will be how to make this sandwich. Another lady wrote and said, you know, I did try the open face tuna sandwich that you make, David, and it was quite good. I don't really think I was lacking in any desire to eat anything else. It was fine. It took the place of that sandwich. But she says that she eats a grilled cheese sandwich every now and then, and her grilled cheese sandwich is I think she says close to 60 grams of carbs. 60 grams of carbs. Now, well, cheese is usually no carb, unless you have like maple flavored cheese or honey cheese or apple something cheese. If you just have like a cheese like you buy at a grocery store, usually those are 0 carbs. Then bread, and then maybe butter. So I'm not sure where she's getting the carbs. Is she getting it from some kind of oil, some kind of spray maybe? But I think she's probably getting it from her bread. Now, I don't think I've ever found bread sold at grocery stores that were 30 grams per slice. The one I showed in the other video, I think was 20 something. Let me grab a real quick. I think I put it in the freezer. Okay, yeah, this one right here. Okay, this is 22 grams. I got lots of discounts on there. What I do is I'll go over there, and this bread will be like $4.99, and they'll give me $4 off. So instead of $4.99, I'm getting some of this Dave's Killer Bread for 99 cents, and then just throw it in the freezer. But that is pretty high in grams of carbs. But I don't know if I've ever seen a 30 gram. Maybe there's some really good artisan breads that are super high in that. And also, that's total carbs. So I'm not sure about net carbs. So I'm sure that the lady is, if she's getting 60 grams of carbs per sandwich, it's coming from the bread, and she's only going with total carbs. I also am a total carbs person. The lady who does the tuna sandwiches at 70 grams of carbs, not anymore, but or 70 gram sandwiches, that was total carbs. On net carbs, of course, we take the total carbohydrates, we subtract fiber, and a couple of other things, whatever. So they'll have like, this is a 0 carb bread. Not really. And what I was trying to explain to people is, if I have a handful of, let's say, olives, I have 8 olives in my hand. I have 8 olives, let's say, and then I grab half of a tomato and I throw it in my hand. Well, I still have 8 olives and 1/2 of a tomato. So if those carbs exist, if those carbs really are real live carbs and they're carbohydrates, That's what I count. That's what I count. But a lot of the keto diets, I was told, are based on net carbs. They'll say don't have more than 27 net carbs all day. If you go 27 total carbs, that's very, very, very low. The Veterans Administration nutritionist says 60 grams of carbs per meal and 2 snacks a day, 15 to 20. So you got 60 times 3, you got 180. Throw in another, maybe up to 40. Maybe you're at 220 grams of carbs, 220 grams of carbs, but the keto diets are based on 25 or 30. So let's go ahead and turn this around. I'm not even going to pause. I'm going to turn around, walk in front, because we know what we're doing. Okay, now let's see. I'm not sure exactly what you're going to see. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm going to start the fire. Whoosh. Okay, I'm going to start making this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn on the fire. And if I don't die of carbon monoxide or gas. Okay, so here we go. The ingredients we're going to use 2 pieces of carb bread. Yeah, use it. And this is what I'm using today. This is Aldi's carb friendly. Now they're saying it's a 0 carb bread, vegan, no sugar, no added whatever. So this is a 10 grams of carbs and 10 grams of fiber. So they're gonna say this is a 0 gram thing, a keto 0 gram. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put butter. I always use butter. Some people say they don't like using butter, they want to use something else. Well, that's them. So I put butter on this piece. Can you see? Butter that bad baby up, bad boy up. Butter, butter, butter. And I'm gonna throw it right there. Then I'm gonna put a little bit more butter here. I'm gonna take a look to see if you can see that. Whoop, whoop, and you can. Okay, then I'm gonna put 2 pieces of cheese. This is a 0 carb cheese, and this is 0 carb, 0 grams of carbs. So we got 2 0 grams of carb. This one is a Colby Jack, and another kind of a Jack cheese. It's not spicy or anything, and this is just regular mild cheddar. Put those 2 there, and then we're gonna go ahead and butter these guys up, both sides. On top, boop, boop, and that's it. Now you can start hearing the sizzle. Okay, now you can hear the sizzle starting, and we will go ahead and make this sandwich. Now this sandwich, you will see, let me show you how small this is. This is tiny slice, a tiny slice. Let me get the other one out, which is more of a typical slice. This might be a little bit larger than a typical slice of like whole wheat bread, but you're going to see this. Now you're going to get this a lot. Look at the difference in size. So this is maybe, a little over half the size of this one, which is fine. But that's great. That's a great thing to have. But the low carb, the low carbs, the 0 carb, whatever you see on there, a lot of that may be due also to the quantity of the size of the slice of bread. For example, this one here is total carbohydrates 22, and it has 6 or 5 grams of fiber. So you would take away the fibers. So you would subtract that from that 22. So when you eat this stuff, a lot of times people say, the thing that I do with the cereal is I can't eat regular food and reduce the quantities like that because I'll be very hungry. I'll be very hungry if I do that. And that's okay. Yeah, they're right. They will probably be hungry if they do that because they're not going to get enough food. You might have to supplement it with a glass of water. Like milk. I'm having some coffee. I don't really like this coffee. And it's already 7. I don't know if I'll drink any coffee after 7, but I don't think I'll get it done before 7. But a lot of people will say, well, I'm too hungry to do what you do, David. If you take the quantity of the regular type cereal and reduce it down in quantity to where it's an acceptable amount of carbs, I'll be hungry. I find that not to be true. Usually, if I think about it, sure, maybe it will be. Now you can see this grilled cheese sandwich. They do not turn quite as brown or overall brown as they do with the regular bread. It looks a little bit different, but this bread is pretty good. I haven't had this one before, but a lot of the keto bread itself is okay. I don't really compare it to regular bread. I just compare taste to taste. Does it taste good or does it taste bad? Because like I said earlier, in the old days it was, you can't have this. Now they have, I'm not a rice eater, but if I ate a lot of Asian food, I'd probably want to have rice, and they have cauliflower rice. I guess cauliflower is very low carb. They also make cauliflower pizza crust. So a lot of stuff we couldn't have before. I don't know how long I've been diabetic. I think when I was diagnosed. I'm not that big of a rice eater, but like potatoes, they now have other products that you can have instead of the actual product. For example, here's an example here too. This one right here is a pancake in a cup, and it has how many carbs does this one have? 42 grams of carbs and 1 gram of fiber. This is a keto version of a pancake in a cup, and it has total carbs 13 grams. 13 grams right there. 13 grams. And 4 grams of fiber. So the net would be 9 on that one. So I don't go with net, I go with total. Let's go and flip this one more time. Now this doesn't even really smell like a traditional grocery store. It smells good, but it doesn't smell like one that I would have thought of if I made it with regular bread. So I'm going to pull it off and let it cool down for a second. What's good about making these kind of sandwiches is the cleanup is very easy. I turn that down, I can wipe it out. Then if I want to make sometimes if I have people that don't eat meat, I'll cook the vegetarian version first, and then, or the vegan first, and then I would cook the one with the meat. That way there's no, they call it cross-contamination, which sounds pretty bad, but what they really mean is some of the meat will get onto the vegan or vegetarian person's food. We don't want to do that. That's not very nice to them. So, yeah, so it went from before where we couldn't have stuff, we couldn't have, no sugars, no chocolate, none of that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and turn this around. And we'll shut down. Don't forget. Okay, this is what it looks like. Let's go and turn this straight now. Okay, and this is what it looks like. Can you smell it? Yeah. So you can smell melted cheese and that. And one time, sometimes when I make these videos, I make them later at night because I'm going to eat this. I'm going to try it. I will try it. Should I bite it? Yeah, I'll bite it. Yeah, I'll bite it. And it's good. It is good. So when I make these videos, sometimes I make sure it's at mealtime, because I don't want to throw down all these. There's only 20 carbs. Now this is 20 total carbs. 20 total carbs. And hers, 60 total carbs. So we're at a third of the carbs of whatever she's doing now. We're at a third. I'll tell her, please write us. It's not the same lady who did the other sandwich. She told me what bread she was using and how it got to be 70 grams of carbs. And for her, it was sweet relish versus plain relish, unsweet relish. And it was the bread. This time I think it's only the bread with this. If she's making it with butter and cheese and this, the only way I can assume that she's doing that is by having too many grams of carbs in the bread she's choosing. I'm not saying she shouldn't do it. It's up to her. It's her journey. But that might be where she's getting it from. But this is a low carb, not no carb, low carb grocery sandwich. Now, if you were doing net versus total, it's a 0 carb. If you're on the keto diet, and you're gonna, or the way that some of the keto put it, the keto with the carbs minus fiber, this is 0 carbs, a 0 carb meal. With this, maybe I'd put a little salad right here. I do have a video that I made today. If you go back that way, you'll see a salad I had at Matt Denny's. Matt Denny's is a little like brew house, bar and grill kind of a deal in Arcadia, California. But this is good. It is good. So I could have this, but I want to make sure I do it at meal time. Take care, everyone. Hope you're having a great, great day. I'll get this out. This will be out tomorrow. We also have tomorrow, we're going to be having a taste test where we tasted a drink, and we have another video that came out yesterday about the AI bots are fighting each other on Facebook, and they keep sending me, you know, contradictory messages. One says I'm no good, one says I'm great, one says please join us, one says please get out of here. It's pretty funny. And we had another video today about getting ripped off. So please take a look at that. If you don't look at anything else today, well, it's not. This will be over here tomorrow. You'll see this on Tuesday. So today, right now, it's Monday night. So Tuesday, about 2:30, this should be coming out. So by 3 o'clock, you should watch the video about getting ripped off. A lot of people are getting ripped off. Some pretty good money, you know, hundreds, 80, 100, 150, $200, whatever it might be. Take care, everyone. Have a great night or day or whatever. Bye. It'll be day. You have a great 2:30 Pacific time, or 2:30 Pacific time tomorrow.